Amigos family, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. As you can see, we both got big smiles on our faces. We are excited to sit down and chat. One of the fan favorite guests, Manuel, is sitting here with us. So thank you for joining us in the Rancho to hear some inspiration from Manuel today.
Thanks everybody for having me. This is something that I really enjoy. Thank you very much for having the opportunity to speak one more time. Yeah,
it's great. So Manuel, I know we get to chat all the time about all of the extraordinary things that we get to be a part of. Our friends that travel from far, from the States and beyond, to be able to come and join us for a mission trip, have an amazing week of getting to know people. And you play a big role in being a bridge. You get to welcome people from other places to come and serve with us. You get to connect them with families in the communities who are just starting to work on making some dreams come true. So I know in all those moments, there is lots that is inspiring you. I'd love for you to jump in and share something that's inspired you so far in this year that we're in.
Thanks, Andy, for that question. I really like that question because it's something that we always look for, something or someone who inspire you to keep going, because sometimes we are going to get a little tired of what we're doing. So basically what I really like doing every single year is to think about what I'm doing and what I'm about to do the very beginning of the year. So I feel a little more motivated, especially with all the groups which are coming down to Nicaragua and bringing all the joy and happiness.
Good vibes, as you said.
Exactly. And I want to be ready for them all the time. So
that's great. So share a moment this year that's impacted you, whether that's been, maybe at a home during a house visit, maybe it's been chatting with families in the communities, maybe it's been sitting under the rancho with somebody. What's a moment that's particularly impacted you so far this year?
I normally have two parts of my job. One of them are going to be all the community people that I work with, because I really like at least try to get to know them a little better, a little deeper. And the other one is going to be sitting with gringos all the time, because I really like, one thing is what they doing for my community in my country. I really respect that. And the other thing is having fun with them, at night, especially when everybody is kind of clean and
after the work day.
Exactly, and ready for jokes and everything. So one of the things that I've been using as a inspiration this year is getting to know more families, especially in Tintalhuispante. It's the first community we worked on this year. And it was pretty amazing to get to know all these people are really friendly, and they all have joy. They all look happy. And one of the things that I really like doing is spending time with families and asking them questions about how they see us and what do they think about what we're doing with them. And they all have a lot of respect for what we're gonna be doing with them. And one of the things that as always happens is, I always do is I ask people how do you see this water project in your community? And they all have something in common, which is they always think that God has forgotten them, because they have been praying for this kind of project in their community, and they never see it before we go. So what people are saying most of the time, especially elderly people who has been going through this their whole life, is that they see Amigos for Christ and every single group as the answer for their prayers. People praying for having water for 30 years, 40 years, probably half of their life, praying and praying over and over, and not seeing the answer of their prayers. And suddenly they are gonna see a bunch of gringos getting off the bus, ready to sweat, getting dirty, but also having fun with them and try to get to know them for real. It's something that they enjoy, but they also see you guys or see us the answer. And it was something that the first time I was I think she made a mistake. I was she shouldn't say that. But then listening a couple times more, I thought, oh my gosh, these people, they really think that we are the answer. Obviously, we are not, you know.
Yeah.
We don't think we are the answer of the prayers. The only answer we have is God. God is the answer for everything. But that's something that impacts me every time I listen to or I hear these people saying that.
Yeah. Well, what I love about what you shared, and you're spot on that none of us are the answer. And you said it's God that's the answer. And I think about what drives all of what we do, which is our mission as an organization. It's to serve, to make Christ more
make
visible.
Christ more visible.
So what you get to do in those moments is you get to say, like, you've never been forgotten.
Yeah.
You're loved by a God that created all of us. Your prayers have been heard, and ours, ours have too. And we're able to come and walk alongside of you as these prayers are answered. And you end up pointing it back to Christ is made more visible here. And that's beautiful. It's cool for those ladies that you have been able to speak with to be able to go home and to tell their families, we are loved. We've always been loved. And this is just another example of how God is working in our lives. And then they tell their neighbors, and their neighbors tell their neighbors. And that's where that juntos comes really true, is being able to see that God's called us into called all of us into this for a reason.
I truly believe that. And something that I'm also saying is God's plan all the time, God's time. We were not supposed to be there when they were praying before. We are supposed to be like in this moment, and we all have to enjoy what we have, like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We this year talking a lot about as it is in heaven, and with our team Como en el Cielo.
Yeah.
And one of the components, one of the characteristics of what we share about on earth as it is in heaven is abundance. For all of us kind of going through life, there are kind of a couple different perspectives, right? Like we can see all of what we have in this kind of scarcity mindset or lack mindset or an abundance mindset. And so something that we have been sharing is that we believe one of the characteristics of heaven and how we can live on earth is living in abundance. And you shared a story with me recently of somebody that you were working with, somebody that you got to know, a family that you got to work alongside of, who shared kind of an idea and an example of abundance. Will you share that with the whole Amigos family?
Yeah. I would love to do that because it was pretty recently. Last week we met Doña Amalia. She was trying to get his bathroom, the new bathroom for her. So one of my activities is gonna go like visit them, ask them a lot of questions before we go, and also try to see what they have. So what we can offer, because what we look is harmony all the time.
Yeah.
So we went and visited her, and she was totally happy for having us. And of course, she was really grateful as well, since she's living alone with her granddaughter. I think her name was Ashley. She is only 5 years old. And I remember Doña Amalia saying that she couldn't wait for us to go and help her with her bathroom, because she had nobody else with her to help her, because she's living alone. So all her children, they left the community because of the lack of water.
Yeah.
That was the main reason first. But then they have also their own family, so nobody is visiting her. And she felt kind of like alone or forgotten, probably. And she was happy like having us, And I really like watching people and watching places. So I did notice that she is missing a lot of things at her home. And that was the first impression that I had. I also went to this house with my daughter, Keisha.
Oh,
Okay. She was with me, like, cause I'm trying to guide her how to do these things. And
you're teaching her the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she also noticed that, because she told me something at the end. So we were talking with this lady. I explained to her what we were going to do for her and with her especially. And we saw a lot of like missing things at her homes.
Yeah.
One of the things are gonna be, like a real house. Her house is made of plastic,
Yeah.
metal, and she's missing a lot of stuff. But something that she is willing to do is to give the little things or share the little things she has, like in the abundance.
Yep.
Something that I thought at the beginning, I was like, she got nothing, because yeah. But at the same time, Doña Amalia was amazing. She taught me how to be grateful with all the things around you. I think I'm grateful, but I'm not. And she taught me that day that even having a plantain tree, jocote tree, and mango tree, or whatever you have around you, you gotta be like grateful for that, because she was lacking a lot of things, but she was just thinking about the things she had
Yep.
to share with everybody else. And this was basically her food. She was saying that a lot of stuff that I was like, wow, this is difficult, but she was willing to give us 2 mangoes each, Keisha and I, just because she was grateful, and she was smiling all the time. It was grateful that day. She was really grateful, and she was really amazing. Basically, a blessing for me and my daughter, because at the end, Keisha was saying that she has no food, because we saw the kitchen. Because one thing we see all the time is the kitchen where we're gonna be cooking, because we normally cook with people. When in the meanwhile we are building bathroom, and she saw she has no food, so she said that she has no food, and I was like, we got some families in that situation, and you gotta know that, and in that way you are gonna be like grateful for what you have at home. And she was like, but she gave us her mangoes, which is basically her lunch. And I was like, I didn't want to get those mangoes either. I know you don't want those mangoes now, because that's her food. But I didn't want to say no, because it could have been worse for her, because she was about like willing to share. So it was a good experience for me. So what I'm trying to say by saying this is how grateful she was with the little thing she has in her life.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, and it's good to remember. It's like we all have, God gives us all a certain gift or something that we can share with the world. And just like you were impacted by saying you gave us from what you had, she saw this is a gift that God's given me, and I want to share this with you. And I think we're called into that too with what God gives us. Yeah. I know that you went and you had that visit preparing for some of our friends that were coming from Ohio. Yeah. Yeah. So how was their time with her building the bathroom? What was that like?
I would say we had a blast with her.
Yeah.
Especially Ashley, I think is her name. I think she was screaming all the time. She was trying to play with everybody, and she normally goes to school early in the morning and comes back around like noon. But she couldn't wait to change her clothes and come and try to help with the shovel. She was having a great time with all the gringos we took into the house.
That's great. No,
it was awesome.
Thank you for sharing her story. Thank you for sharing the story from our friends in Tital, Wispanta, about just kind of what an answer to prayer looks like. We did something a little different for this podcast, something I'm excited about. We reached out to the Amigos family. We put a story up on our social media and said, Amigos family, what would you like to ask Manuel? Ask anything. Okay. And so I'm excited to ask you a few of the questions that we got. And they're totally all over the place. So we're excited, Amigos family, that you jumped in to be able to influence this conversation. So the first question, and you might be like, where did this question come from? Is what's your favorite Nicaraguan food?
Okay.
And then the second one, and this is the funny part, what is one of your favorite U.S. snacks that you've tried from somebody that's come on a mission trip? So we're talking food, and then we'll get a little deeper with the questions as we go on. But what comes to mind with those two questions?
I really love food. I'm always
and I think that's probably why somebody asked this question.
So my favorite food in Nicaragua is gonna be bigoron.
Tell everybody a little bit about the context of bigoron, it being from Granada and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's very traditional from my city, and it's basically made of yuca or cassava in English, I think. And something that I really like in this dish is pork. because it's fried and it's really juicy. You know, it's really really like greasy, and having the combination of yuca and also the pork is really delicious. So I enjoy, like, every single time I go back and visit my mom in my city, I normally go straight to the market
Yeah.
and get the chicharrones because I really love them.
That's great.
Yeah.
2 for 1 visit.
Yeah. That would be my favorite food, like traditional food in my city, Vigoron. Everybody has to try it.
So that's great. What about your favorite U.S. snack that you've had from people who've brought them and shared on mission trips?
I really like chocolate,
Okay.
you know, and they normally have some chocolate, but it's not that common. I don't know why. So bring chocolate.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's 100 degrees here and it's gonna melt, so that's why.
But I really like what's the name of this meat?
Beef jerky?
Yes.
Okay.
Beef jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good. When you're digging trenches and because of the heat, you are not that hungry. So you can eat those things with no problem and go back to work like nothing, you know? So I really like that.
That's great. Noted. Everyone's like, okay, noted. Forever asked that question. Thank you for the good fun food question. So you talked about Granada. You talked about where you're from. This leads directly into the next question. Is I know you share, you know, when people will come on trips, you'll share a little bit about your story of, you know, I grew up in a different city and my family and I moved here. It's been eight years
now.
8 years now since you guys have moved. So the question is, what has been kind of the biggest change or the biggest impact for your family moving from Granada to Chinandega over the past almost decade at this point?
Yeah, that's a very easy question for me because the biggest impact we have had in our time here is to be able to be closer to God. My city is beautiful. I would say my people also are beautiful. But something that we were missing is what we have here now, especially for Keisha. I'm always like kind of like crying because it's difficult to guide your children into God's path, you know? And Keisha, by coming here, everybody has helped me guiding her into that, you know? So now she's reading the Bible. She's spending more time with us. At the same time, she is practicing a lot of English as well. She's getting way better than me in English. They say, oh my gosh, Keisha, you almost don't have accent. We can tell that you're learning a lot. And I'm super grateful with that. But going back to the question, my family is so oriented to God now.
Yeah.
Like it's something that we couldn't have made in Granada. Because everybody is kind of like individual, you know. Everybody do their own thing. God is not in the middle of the families most of the time. And everybody's just like partying all the time, you know, drinking alcohol or doing different stuff. But here, what we have all the time, the first time in the, early in the morning is like we pray. And we thank God for all what we have, and then we kind of like ready for the rest of the day. We try to do that with our kids now. It was something that we didn't do before, but now little by little we're talking about more God, and Keisha is at the same time she's reading the Bible. She's making a lot of friends, so she's practicing English by like video phone call.
Yeah,
you know, and she reads the Bible with someone. I don't normally ask her who you're talking to, you know, with. And it's been amazing. The biggest blessing we have is God in the middle of our lives now, in the middle of our family now.
Well, and just to reflect back something that has impacted you this year with the families that you've met, it's really both of the stories that you shared combined. You talked about somebody saying, this is an answer to my prayers, and somebody giving and acting from abundance. And what you just shared about your family and with Keisha specifically is both of those things. It's an answer to your prayers as a dad of, I want my daughter and I want my family to have people that love them and care for them and show them the way and teach them about God, teach them different talents and skills like learning English. So it's cool that your story too reflects back some of what's impacted you in the community.
Yeah.
All right, last question for you. And I love this one, especially because you got a big smile on your face. This is exactly what the question's about. Somebody said, how are you always so positive? So what keeps you What keeps you so positive and just able to share the joy that you do?
Everybody is giving me something to be positive and grateful. I take something from everybody. I'm stealing things,
I love
you
that.
know, and
You're borrowing the best from others. Yes.
that's what I think every time I come and see people here. You know, I see like everybody is trying to work towards the only way we have, which is help others
Yeah.
and serve God, make Christ more visible. So I'll try to get those little positivisms from everybody so I can be joyful and also willing to like give back what I'm getting from others. So I like being positive, being negative. Who wants to be negative?
Right.
Being honest. Who wants to be grumpy? Nobody. So try to be positive as much as I can is something that I'll try to do every single day of my life, for sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that positivity. I know we all feel it. It's like, as we sat down, and I know, you know, as we started chatting, we just both had big smiles on our faces. You bring joy to the table always. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your inspiration. Amigos fam, thank you for being a part of all of this. I know you love Manuel. You get to hang with him and have fun with him, and his laugh is a laugh that echoes around the world. So thank you again for joining us, and we hope that wherever you're at, whether you're out on a walk or riding a bike, in your car, hanging with friends and family, anything and everything in between, we hope that you're encouraged by this, that you're inspired by this, knowing that you are making all of this happen. So we love you guys, and excited to see you on the next episode very soon.
Yeah. Thanks everybody.